Hello, everybody. I hope that you can hear me. I always have a little bit of trouble with my audio, and it can be a little irritating for me and for people that might be listening to the tape. Today, if you're from Texas or anywhere in the United States that are reporting this, we know that Kerrville, the city of Kerrville, and the surrounding area, which is Hunt, and what's the name of the other? Several Comfort, and I think it's not La Mesa, but there's several towns surrounding that area that are on the Guadalupe River, which I always thought it was a beautiful river. It runs all the way through Victoria, and I lived in Victoria. And my reason for making this video is because of the capacity for the Guadalupe River to flood during these times when we have what I call monsoon rains. And I remember in Victoria, they had a situation like this where the river flooded and flooded all the downtown area. I don't know that there were any casualties. This was a good maybe 15, 20 years ago. And then I do remember another flood that in the hill country that captured a camping ground where about 17 young people did not make it out. And there's all sorts of experiences recently here in San Antonio where we lost 13 people with flash floods. So anyway, it's not, it's a very difficult, dark time right now for us. There's a lot of emotions that are running through. I began to see it last night or yesterday when I was watching the report where the people of Kerrville, the people that the Chamber of Commerce or the councilors, the mayor, they were trying to explain what was happening, and already reporters were saying it was their fault. They should have known, and create even more animosity and chaos and confusion. Um, and it's a very difficult time for everybody. Parents that are not with their children, that they're waiting for information to be heard, and then complete families that have been lost. I read about a young man who saved his family and then just simply told them that he wasn't going to make it, and he didn't make it, but used all his energy to uh, help his family survive, his fiancee, his children, his mother, and he didn't. And so we're going to keep hearing these types of reports. And we as a society have a tendency to want to know and to know and to know and to know. So we'll continuously watch it on TV. And there's a purpose for me sharing all of this. But sometimes we get so involved in the situation of wanting to put it on Facebook and know what's going on, that we are in the middle of the process. The first responders, the rescuers, the military, everybody that is trying to do the things that they need to do to find and rescue people. It got to a point where they had to ask the city of Kerr to tell people to please not be by the river videotaping all this. And a lot of times people will do things like that, believing it's going to help. I've got to put the news out there. So we do all of this, and all of us are rereading and rereading, and we find out that somebody that they were looking for didn't make it, and it impacts us. So I really want to talk about what vicarious trauma is. Everybody involved in this situation, people that have experienced it, that were in the middle of this, the first responders, the people from Kerrville, the counselors, the council members, anybody intimately involved in this, they're going to experience some kind of trauma. You can't help it, especially if you're rescuing first responders, first rescuers, and they're finding the people. And the emotion that comes from that. And then you have to tap that down so that you can finish doing what you're doing, which is to pull them out or to take them to a place where somebody can identify them and then go right back out. This happened a lot in 9/11. Lots of first responders afterwards. But we, as the society, as the people that are watching, we also can develop vicarious trauma. And vicarious trauma is explained as us being not at the forefront, but from the constant exposure to what is happening. We hear it, it's reiterated over and over and over again, and we begin to experience symptoms of grief, symptoms of PTSD, symptoms of trauma. So I'm making this little tape to make people aware that even if we are helping or want to help, too much exposure will create trauma. So be cognizant of it. Make sure that you're debriefing. Make sure that you go and see someone. Before you know it, they're going to be calling in people like myself, counselors who can help people debrief and help them develop some homeostasis, some stabilization from all this. And because the flooding occurs and then the river goes down, but they're left with everything, all the damage that the river created. And they'll still be finding people weeks from now because that's just the way this works. There was another horrendous flooding in 2002. It went through New Braunfels and through Seguin, and I had wiped out trailers, houses, and things like that. We love nature. We love to be by the river. We ourselves went to the Frio River a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago. It was beautiful. And people were tubing and going down. And yet it was very dangerous because the rapids. And then later, a couple of weeks after we'd been there, we heard of somebody that got caught in the rapids and didn't make it. So, water has a mind of its own, and you're not going to be able to tell it which way to go. So we need to be consciously aware of all the love that we have for the water, at the same time to understand it and respect it to the best of our ability, and um, and then be available for the people that are going through this trauma of grief and loss. Some people didn't lose their lives, but they lost all their livelihood, their houses, their homes, their dogs, their possessions. And a lot of people will say, well, it's okay. That's the way it is. In a few weeks, it'll hit them in a different manner. So I ask that we continue to be in prayer and then do whatever you can do to help yourself feel like you engaged in some purpose, be it giving money to the Red Cross, uh, joining an organization that's volunteering, even if it's just making sandwiches and being there. And anything that is done is part of the search and rescue. And we don't have to be in the middle of it. We can be on the fringes of it and still know that we're doing something beneficial to help this population. I saw a picture that was placed on Facebook. Nobody was close to the water, but all the people were lined up, kneeling, praying. And if you're a religious person, if you're a believer, prayer is powerful. And if for nothing else, that it'll fill people with peace that they don't even know where it's coming from, and will be able to keep themselves somewhat balanced during this time. And then afterwards, and this is one thing that I hear a lot, afterwards, what happens? It's like when somebody loses a loved one and everybody's there for the viewing and the burial, and then right afterwards, and then the weeks go by and everybody kind of falls away. But those people are still hurting. So, how can we stay connected and cognizant that it's, 5 weeks later, it's not over for them. We're on to something else, but it's not over for them. And so I want to take time to encourage everybody to, number one, take care of yourself. If you are the type of person that is a news junkie like me, I've been watching it since last night, and I feel the weight of what's going on. And I know that I have to take care of myself so that I do not go under with the sadness and possible anger of, why did this have to happen? Because there's going to be people that are going to ask, why did this have to happen? And why didn't somebody stop it? We're not thinking very clearly. The whole idea when a flood is difficult to do something about it or to stop it. So I've been thinking and thinking, and I thought, I'm just in my own little corner going to share this. And I know that there are many thinking out there what they can do. And it doesn't have to be something big, it could be something as collecting money and then taking it to the Red Cross, or collecting money and taking it to the city of Kerrville, uh, collecting possibly clothes, or not clothes, more like daily utilities, toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, towels, things that people have lost that they need to start feeling better, that they're able to take a shower and change into some clean clothes, because after 2 or 3 days of not having anything to change into or to take care of their physicality, something, when there's a trauma like this, when there's a catastrophic event like this, um, people forget about the little things and how good it will make them feel to just take a simple hot shower and be able to put on a clean pair of pants, socks, and a clean pair of tennis shoes. So these are all things that you can help with. You can call the Red Cross. You can call the organization in Kerrville and in the other little towns, and to see, maybe some of you have bulldozers, some of you have uh, trucks that you can start to carry debris out. And in the next couple of weeks, I know that the um, Army Reserve is there, and we can work together in conjunction. So there's so many ways that you can do this. I just wanted to, more than anything, remind us about vicarious trauma, that as we're doing this, to take care of ourselves, so that in a couple of weeks when it's all over, or basically already things are back, trying to be back to normal, you're going to start feeling it. You're going to wonder why you don't have any energy, or how come you're feeling depressed or irritated, because there's no time to process anything. And if you're one of those people that you're a first responder and you're discovering you're doing recovery rather than rescue, and you're seeing a tremendous amount of uh, painful situations, this, you're not dealing with it at that moment because you're busy doing it, but you will have to later. So just a little reminder that in doing all that you're doing to help the community, do be aware of the vicarious trauma that may impact you, and what you need to do. You need to go see someone. You need to process it. Make use of the people that are volunteers that are there to hear you. Go see a therapist. Find Don't let it just fester inside of you, because then it will be twice as hard to get better. It'll take longer. So, with that said, I just want everybody and myself to continue to pray for all the families that have lost loved ones, or that they've lost their livelihood, and that, all that they saw in a matter of hours, and the anxiety and the fear and the amount of emotions that were running through everybody that was in the middle of this. and continue to lift them up and ask the Lord to give them the space that they need and the comfort that they need through people that can come to them and offer that to them. So, with that said, continue to take care of yourselves. We still are under a flash flood here in San Antonio. I think the same rain that was over Kerrville has moved over into Austin, Georgetown, San Antonio, around the surrounding area. So we also are going to be dealing with some kind of flash flood. So take care. Thank you.